put in any home.
Had half.
Right. And so this is what the explanation was. Tell me if this doesn't just blow your ever-loving mind. Older people are more susceptible to high heat. And by air conditioning so many places down south, older people from up north move south. Now, the idea is that if you're older, you have a higher probability of being conservative. So the older conservatives up north started moving.
Kind of like snowbirds.
Yeah, but they were moving permanently because now they have air conditioner. They can survive the summer. They would move residents.
And the winters wouldn't be that cold.
Right. So as more and more old conservatives, and they're not just conservative because they're old. And I agree with this theory that liberals tend to become more conservative as they get older because you become more wise.
Right.
You're not as stupid and naive anymore. So you become a lot more conservative. Those older conservatives moved down south, and it changed the demographics. So then the South becomes more red.
Okay.
But they were Republicans because they were up north. So they come down south, and now there's more Republicans, and they're more conservative.
Oh, that's amazing.
And all the young liberal Republicans stayed up north, and then they switched party to the Democrats. I don't know. It's a convoluted explanation, but I heard that somewhere.
Hey, did you hear Anonymous is helping out in the fight against ISIS?
Oh, are you kidding me? This has been going on for probably months.
Did you hear what they found?
They are on an absolute jihad against the jihad.
Did you hear what they found?
What'd they find?
They found emails of the jihadists.
Don't tell me.
Linked it back.
No.
They linked it back to the Department of Works and Pensions in the United Kingdom's government.
Why would there be a connection there?
The employees that work in the government
Okay.
are claiming to be part of ISIS.
So you're saying
in emails,
this is the ultimate Trojan
They
horse.
sent these emails out from their office at work,
pledging their allegiance to ISIS.
Right, and wreaking havoc with, like wreaking havoc, like sending out emails taunting people. You know, like that whole scare out in L.A. where they shut the entire 600,000 kids sent home from school this week because ISIS sent an email that said, we've got 37 people on ready with bombs and grenades. And so the Los Angeles School District believed that and sent 600,000 students home. Same email got to New York, and de Blasio blew it off because he's like, come on. When was the last time ISIS had 37 of anything?
Wow. They didn't even have 37 hijackers on 9/11.
That's what I was telling my wife. I explained to her, I said, come on, 37? Who's going to believe that? So anyways, those emails and that terror, if you will, is being sent out, and Anonymous found it coming from the United Kingdom's government offices. From employees in the government office.
So here's the question. Do you think they were Muslim and part of the ISIS, or were they double agents that were saying, hey, let's mess with
They were
the
double
US
agents. I can't believe they'd be that stupid to send out emails
from like they could have went anywhere to send them.
Right. Why don't you go to the local library?
You could have got, well, then there'd be cameras. But if it was a government agent, they could have got rid of that footage.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been very interesting. So not double agents. There's just ISIS members. Wait a minute. So you're saying government officials in the UK, if they were double agents, you don't believe it because they wouldn't be that stupid.
Right.
But they are that stupid because they're not double agents.
Right. They're
still government workers.
Right.
I could see that.
Because
I used to work in the government. And they are that stupid. No offense to anybody who still works in the government who might be listening.
So before we move off of the debate, do you want to hear any of the highlights of the debate at all?
Yeah, we could.
Okay. Just tell me when to hit pause or stop or whatever.
I'll just throw in my 2 cents.
It's debate night for the Republicans.
We're going to listen to the whole thing?
No, it's a highlight.
I'd like to invite each candidate to introduce himself or herself.
First one's Rand Paul.
The question is, how do we keep America safe from terrorism? Trump says we ought to close that internet thing.
What a liar.
The question really is, what does he mean by that? Like they do in North Korea? Rubio says we should collect all Americans' records all of the time. I think if we ban certain religions, if we censor the internet, I think that at that point the terrorists will have won.
And just last weekend,
if we
friend
do.
asked
This
one
John
of my
Kasich.
daughters, do you like politics? And my daughter said, no, I don't. There's too much fighting, too much yelling. It's so loud, I don't like it.
I have been tested. I have beaten breast cancer. I have buried a child.
Buried?
I started as a secretary.
Yeah, that's right.
I fought my way to the top of corporate America while being called every B word in the book.
America is at war. Our enemy is not
Ted Cruz.
violent extremism. It is not some unnamed malevolent force.
He sounds good.
It is radical Islamic terrorism.
Dr. Carson.
Thank you, Wolf. Please join me for a moment of silence in remembrance of the San Bernardino victims. Thank you.
Okay, hold on. What did you think of him doing that?
I thought it was good.
Did you hear what the media did?
No.
They laughed at him. The media laughed and poked fun at him for doing that.
Well, I would think that doing that would be very...
Despicable.
yeah, despicable. Yeah.
No, the media found humor in that.
A month ago, things changed. Radical Islamic terrorism came into effect even more so than it has been in the past. People like what I say, people respect what I say, and we've opened up a very big discussion that needed to be opened up.
Here's a battle with Jeb Bush.
To keep the country safe, you say you want to temporarily ban non-American Muslims from coming to the United States, ban refugees fleeing ISIS from coming here, deport 11 million people, and wall off America's southern border.
Okay, that's the question from the moderator.
Oh, by the way, thumbs up on all those suggestions.
Right. That is the question from the moderator.
He was honest. He said non-American Muslims.
Right.
He also said...
people running away from ISIS.
Which, that's...
It's subjective. We don't know if they're really running away from them or they're coming here to take us over.
We can verify... by experts have said that of all the people that are in the group claiming to be fleeing ISIS, we can't be sure how many will be infiltrated, will be Trojan Horse members, and they pretty much guarantee that there will be.
Right,
and we all know that. So, yeah.
Okay, so here's Trump's response, and then Jeb tries to get some licks in there.
The best way to make America great again, to isolate it from much of the rest of the world.
We're not talking about religion. We're talking about security. I will build a wall. It'll be a great wall. People will not come in unless they come in legally. And if I'm president, and if Obama has brought some to this country, they are leaving. They're going. They're gone.
Thank you.
So Donald, is great at the one-liners, but he's a chaos candidate, and he'd be a chaos president. He would not be the commander-in-chief we need to keep our country safe.
Jeb doesn't really believe I'm unhinged. He said that very simply because he has failed in this campaign. It's been a total disaster. Nobody cares. And frankly, I'm the most solid person up here. I built a tremendous company, and all I want to do is make America great again.
Banning all Muslims will make it harder for us to do exactly what we
banning
need to
all
do,
Muslims.
which is to destroy ISIS.
So you have said banning Muslims is unconstitutional. But according to a recent ABC News Washington Post poll, a majority of Republicans support Mr. Trump's idea.
Okay.
We
So
need to talk about that for a second.
The moderator just now said banning all Muslims.
Oh, I thought that was Jeb. Did he also
Jeb
reiterate
said
that?
Well, Jeb said banning Muslims.
No.
Then
Jeb said all Muslims.
Right. And then the moderator
Which
came
is a
in
lie.
right after that to pose a question or to pose a statement. Banning all Muslims seems like Republicans like that idea. They agree with Trump.
Well, first of all, nobody... This is called a straw man.
Who's banning?
A straw man fallacy or a straw man argument is when you misrepresent your opposition's point in order to more easily defeat it. And when you say that he is calling for the ban of all Muslims in the U.S., you've completely lied about what he said. He didn't say that.
Nope, he's never said that.
Right. So,
and Sarah Palin had never said she could see Russia from her house.
Right. So there's it's like
what the media does.
It's like cascading straw men.
Well, they're trying to destroy him at all cost.
Like they did Palin.
Oh, absolutely.
And they cannot figure out why it's not working. They destroyed Howard Dean.
Yes, they did.
I was surprised at how effective they were.
Oh, yeah.
I remember thinking, ooh, that didn't sound very good. But I didn't think he was going to be ruined.
Right. Somebody has given them the notion that they have all this power, and now they're shocked.
They're like, well, wait a minute. What?
What do you mean kryptonite? What do you mean? These defenses, kryptonite doesn't work?
So let's talk about this a second. There's not a religious test or whatever to get in America. You're not supposed to be able to ask, well, what religion are you?
Hold on.
But
we talked about this
but.
in 1950s. It was affirmed by the Congress that bringing a culture to America that has a religion, and in their religion would be to overthrow our current government and our current freedom. Congress said, no, you cannot come to America.
I would agree with that. But furthermore...
That would be Islam. That'd be Islam.
Furthermore,
okay.
I believe that there's a lot of things that you can do on a temporary basis that would easily be considered unconstitutional in certain emergency or wartime conditions, which is the basis of the camps with the Japanese internment camps and the German internment camps, if that ever happened. I'm not sure.
Jimmy Carter's sending all the Muslims out of the country.
Jimmy Carter is?
Yeah, Jimmy Carter back when he was president.
Oh, back then.
And our people were taken hostage. He sent Muslims out of the country that were part of that.
See, I didn't even know that. But in a specifically a wartime condition, you can get away with a lot of stuff, which I think is. But there's a reason for that. This is not unconstitutional. This is actually part of it, where at some point the leaders of the country have to go to extreme measures to save it, and that would be what happens here. So I think that under certain wartime conditions, on a temporary basis, you should be able to do certain things, and I think that preventing Trojan horse would be one of them.
Yeah, 1979, Jimmy Carter signed an executive order. That law was written to allow, and it had to do with banning Iranian Muslims from coming to America.
Was the wording Iranian Muslims, or could it have been Iranian citizens? I guess the question I'm asking is, are you saying that he would allow an Iranian Christian?
Okay, according to Breitbart, he signed an executive order allowing his deputies to make 50,000 Iranian students then living in the United States report to an immigration office, and then blocked all new immigrants from coming into America that were Muslim.
Yes. That were Muslim. Yes. So you're saying that if an Iranian Christian came up
right,
and said, well, I'm trying to get in.
Well, but are you lying? Are you Iranian?
Well, let's see,
are you lying?
Verify it. Did you hear how Glenn Beck was going to, he's still pushing. He's still pushing.
He wants to get all the Christians out of
Syria. He wants to bring Syrian Christians in mass. And of course, he's got a lot of listeners who are giving him a lot of backlash. But did you hear how he was going to vet them?
How?
It's absolutely brilliant. And I'm sure it's not his idea, but whoever came up with it is absolutely brilliant. So in order to come over, it has to be in a group. It has to be somebody, a group of people who are part of a community that all attend a Christian church. And they all have to know each other. And here's how you verify. You split them all up, and you do it like the police do. You interview them all separately without letting them talk to each other and see if all their stories line up.
Wow.
And if there's any inconsistencies in any of their stories, we're talking, it could be 50 people.
Yeah, that would be so hard to keep that story.
So all their stories, they have to have known each other. They have to have grown up with each other, gone to church together.
Okay.
And that way you could say this is a Christian community who've gone to Christian church who are clearly their lives are at risk.
Right.
They're from Syria.